I'm Gary Kuhl, and I appreciate you all being here today. You're going to see travels in Patagonia in South America on the eastern coastline. It's about 310,000 square miles of an area, and it's about 350 miles long. Magellan, who sailed around the world, you may remember, in 1520, came up the Straits of Magellan in that year, and he saw the Native Americans had been in that area for 10,000 years, and they saw Magellan coming up there, and they built fires to, I don't know if to discourage them or let them know they were there or whatever. But this is Patagonia. You see the area in green is what is called Patagonia. This is mainly in Chile and a portion of it in Argentina. The east side of it would be Argentina. The west side is Chile. So you start out in Buenos Aires, and you stay there about a day and a half. And then this is a cemetery that was for rich folks. It's the same cemetery. Again, this was for wealthy people in that area. This is the governmental building in downtown Buenos Aires. The downtown street in Buenos Aires. This is just a local hotel. That town has absolutely got beautiful architecture and buildings, really high quality. For example, this is a church there. We spent a day and a half there before going down Magellan Strait. That's real gold in the background. Just another example. I mean, the quality of the architecture is just amazing to me. Dance show, again, it's a public building there in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and that's their theater, and you can see the little areas where people would sit up. That's a bumblebee. That's also in downtown. This is a silk tree, fluffy silk tree. It looks like orchids, but you can see the big leaves in the background. It's not a small plant. Okay, that's the silky fluff flower again. Looks like an orchid to me, but it's not. Yellow-billed duck. It's very common here in the United States as well. So now we're into the glaciers, and you get on a boat. This is where Magellan sailed up here in the 1520, and these glaciers are just absolutely amazing. And it's going to be a little repetitive here because I got a lot of glacier pictures, but we, thank goodness, our group, the guides, we did not actually venture up onto the glacier. We saw people up there, but it's very dangerous and that you could collapse easily. So our pictures were taken either from the boat or we actually went over on the mainland where you're on solid ground to take these pictures. So the interesting thing is, and I hate to say, when we were there, 7 or 8 years ago, 9% of the fresh water in South America was tied up in these glaciers. Today it's down to 6%. So they are rapidly melting, unfortunately. But the escape for the melting water is that cave right there. And you'll see in a minute here, there's waterfalls also coming out. But we're up on land taking this picture. Okay. That's just another view taken actually from the land. You see people on the boardwalk down there. And these glaciers, interestingly, they look like a river flowing. It's just frozen. And so that obviously is a good picture of it. This is us up on the land, just another shot. And I think to give you perspective, if you look to the far right, I'm quite sure that's a little raft boat. As these glaciers are melting, you get these icebergs that come out off of you can see where this is getting ready to fall in, it looks like. And the other interesting thing is the layers. Obviously, there must have been some kind of erosion or something that caused the discoloration there. This gives you a good feel for the size of the glacier compared, these are just folks in kayaks. And you're going to see some more pictures here, but if you fell into this water, you're probably going to freeze to death in about 3 minutes. So there's a glacier. This is what, as these big glaciers fall apart, you're going to get these icebergs. And they were all over that area. We have Spanish moss here. This is Patagonia moss. Okay, this is a sweet pea, which we have here as well. That is a PIRI burr. We have them here, they're totally white. They are guanacos.
Yes,
Guanacos,
right.
okay?
Yeah.
The Native Americans there, their fur is just high quality. So the Native Americans use them for making clothing, and they would use them to move things from one place to another. There's one of your guanacos. Yeah, their fur is treasured. It's just high quality fur on that animal. Ostrich, wild ostriches, just roaming around the field there. This is Tierra del Fuego. And if you kind of study this a little bit, geologists believe this is a fairly young mountain range because the peaks are so sharp. Background and the way the mountains appear. The weather there, well, as you could tell, it clouded up. It was actually, my recollection is that it was, maybe 60s, 70s. It was pleasant weather. We wore coats. This is melting glacier runoff coming down the side of the mountain, and unfortunately, that's what's going on there. They're losing again, whether it's good or bad, but they're losing those glaciers pretty quickly. A few wildflowers in the front, and again, you see the sharpness of the peaks in these mountains, and again, that's why geologists feel like they're fairly young. Another, you can see again how crisp the mountain tops look. This is just further down, and you see the little rainbow coming down there. Again, very, very clear how crisp the tops of those mountains are. Same here. We were down there for 5 days in a cruise boat. My recollection is we may have seen 4 or 5 other boats. This was actually a Coast Guard boat, and I think we saw one sailboat and a couple of boats similar to this, but it is just remote. I mean, it's just very little travel down there. This was the hotel we stayed in, and I always think of some other foreign country as not being advanced, or this is a beautiful hotel down in the boonies, so these are just wildflowers. And again, the fact that we were down there in our winter, it was their spring. So you had wildflowers blooming everywhere. These were our guides. Just excellent people, just knowledgeable, helpful, friendly, good folks. This is a monument to the Tierra del Fuego, which again, the gentleman sitting there, the statue, is a former South American native, and the boy looks like he's pretty well off. Beautiful statue, and just recognizing they're natives down there. Okay, this is similar to our cormorant, but down there, white, and I'm assuming that's because they've adjusted themselves to be in the snow areas. It's an imperial shag, S-H-A-G, imperial shag, and they were everywhere. So this is this picture to me, you see how the glacier is flowing just like a river coming down out of the mountains, and again, you see the little icebergs are breaking off as it melts. That's that same spot I pointed out earlier, and again, you see you see that it's cracking, it's falling apart. And these areas here are gonna, they're very close to falling off. And okay, another shot of the river-like glacier coming down out of the mountains. Okay, here, this is to me this such a perspective. This is a guy in a little motorized boat, and obviously he's dwarfed by the size of the glacier. Just a better picture. There you go here, this guy down here. That's the boat we were on right there, 3-story cruise boat. We were in that boat 5 days, and again, a good experience, very, very polite, good people there. And so now this is the one that is a little scary to me, but that sailboat was one of the 3 or 4 we saw down there. But this right here is a transportation between the cruise ship and going to shore to take pictures back of the glaciers. It's a little curious that you're literally sitting on the edge of this. If you hit a little rock or whatever, I think about half the people would be in the water, and you wouldn't last long, So, okay, that's just that same again. You see the cracks in this, and it's just, I hate to say it's falling apart. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not sure, but there's all the debris coming down off of it. Okay, this is up on the mainland, on the land part. That's not snow. And they brought us up there in those little boats and let us hike down the side of it so we could get a closer look at the glacier. There's the boat, the cruise boat in the distance. Same here, there's the cruise boat. And as I say, the amazing, there's just nothing else human. I mean, there's not even a water meter, a level recorder or anything there. Just another shot. Okay, this is, of course, it just gives you a feel for the size of what you're dealing with. That's a little boat, the type of boat that brought us into the shore. And as you can see, it's not great telling you, but the mountains in the back you can tell are huge compared to that boat. Same general area, just up on the side of the hill, and we're looking down, taking photographs. There's the boat again, and here's the boat bringing people to shore. You see, everybody's sitting on the edge of the raft. Yeah. If the guy hit an iceberg or something, you'd be in the water. There's a waterfall that's runoff from the melting glaciers. Iceberg on the land. So this is a good shot of the folks coming in here. And again, I've already come over on that similar boat, and everybody, of course, wore life preservers. But what surprised me is you're literally sitting up there on the edge of the boat, and Magellanic penguins, so called after Magellan spotting them. We went to a little spot where there was probably 40 of these penguins hanging out, and they seemed happy. I mean, it's freezing cold in the water, I'm sure, but this would be the type of hunting disguise, if you will, for the Native Americans there. They could hide these little places and, I'm sure, kill whatever animal they were trying to get. This is a Patagonia dolphin, as you can tell, totally different coloration from our porpoise, and again, likely the white color fit the area, the snow area. Well, this is weird. This is like a growth on a regular natural tree there. So even with the low temperatures, they still have little weird things going on, the fungus or something. So you just see the waterfalls, and these were very common. And again, it's the melting snow up. And again, this is spring, so you would expect some of that. Another good shot of these guys here.
Sorry.
This is the chapel at Cape Horn, which is the southernmost point in South America. And That's the inside, just a little chapel, and very well kept, of course. And this is us getting ready to leave Cape Horn. You got to climb down a major hill, if you say it, rocky area, and then the boats, you get down here to the dock, and the boat would pick you up and take you back to the ship. Other than all I know to tell you, it was just a beautiful place and a beautiful experience.